And there's always like a part of a song where like a beat drops or like, you know, something you like smooths out. And that's like the part you look forward to, that part in the song where you're like, oh, this is the part where it's about to drop. So the first time I watched this, right? And the first time, like when I was live and Kamaru stopped at the top of the cage and he stopped before he walked into the octagon. I was looking and I was trying to figure out what he was doing. I was like, is he praying? And then I realized what he was doing as soon as it happens, because he was waiting for the beat to drop. Oh, so his ego got him. Is that what happened? Henry Cejudo on video before the fight saying he needs to watch that ego, dude. I'm going to talk about that, but also I'm going to tell you some other stuff. This whole thing has made a fan out of me. Kamaru Usman is someone. It was one of those guys like very similar to GSP actually, like in the way that I watched him. You know, where I watched him and I was like, he's amazing. I respect him as a fighter because he's an incredible fighter. I obviously can tell he and I would like. There's not much to not like about the guy where you're like, okay, if we ever end up in the same room, he's probably going to be a guy that I like a lot. But like, I didn't feel like I was like, it's like, are you a huge fan of Kamaru Usman? I would have been like, nah, you know, like, I'm just like, there's only like a handful of guys. I'm like a really big fan of those guys. And Kamaru's built a fan out of me now, dude. And I'll talk about that. But also, I'm going to show you guys one of the things that got me there, which was his entrance to this fight. Man, dude, this is the first time I'd seen him fight live. You know, I've seen a lot of guys fight live now. And one of the things, I did that video where I talked about watching live and like the experience live and then imagining what it's like in the octagon live and how different it is if you're in the actual auditorium. And I did the thing about Wei Li when she knocked out Joanna and she's in Singapore. Let's watch this together. This is Wei Li redeeming herself at 275 in front of a fucking crowd of people who are dying to see. Let's go. Boom. And then I showed you that video from cage side where like the crowd erupted. So one of the other things that you cannot experience at home are the entrances sometimes. Big ring, go. Playtime mode is the big ring, go. Like, 90% of the time, it's that, people do their entrances and you're like, okay, cool. 10% of the time, someone has picked such a vicious song, like a song that's just vicious, dude. And you got to understand, like, you're in an auditorium where they have concerts. You know what I mean? Like, it's built for sound. And so you get the absolute best version, the loudest, hardest version of these songs. And so if it's like a heavy bass song, at least, this is for me, like, this is the kind of shit that I listen to. Like, if I'm trying to, when I was like doing athletics or getting ready to go like spar or whatever, this is the kind of shit that I would listen to. Bro. And like, I've always been like, dude, I've always been one of these guys that like, entrances, I like when I used to play sports or any of that stuff, honest to God, I actually enjoyed the hours beforehand more than the actual fight or the sport or whatever, like the game, whatever it was. I loved it, dude. I would literally sit with headphones on for hours and just listen to music, hood on. Everyone would just look at me like, game day or fight, whatever it was. And they just look at me like, Jesus, don't talk to this fucking guy. Well, not don't talk to, it's just like he's making himself very unavailable right now. He has a hood on, his head's down, and he has headphones on. He is clearly not looking to talk to anybody. And I wasn't. I loved that stuff, man. And so like fight entrances, dude, if you could tell someone's in the zone like that, I love that so much, dude. And Kamaru's entrance is so hard, dude. It is so hard. I'm going to show it to you. And then I'm going to show you like a detail about his entrance that is so sick. So sick. I'm going to show you that. Anyway, before I get into it though, if you like content, go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell. And then also, if you are a Kratom user, like I always talk about, dude, Kratom.com. That is the place that I get mine. $60 kilograms, the cheapest ever. It is also as high quality as anything you're going to get in the store at 1/5 the price. YoKratom.com. Check it out. Anyway, so the first thing I want to talk about real quick though is what Henry Cejudo said before the fight, right? So Henry put out this video. Dude, by the way, Henry Cejudo has a YouTube video or a YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys saw that. So this is actually really bizarre, right? So usually when UFC fighters start a YouTube channel, right? YouTube recognizes it and they throttle them on the algorithm, right? Like that. I mean, that's just objectively, that is what happens. Okay. Like that's just what happens. Daniel Cormier started his, he had put up like 5 videos and like I started seeing his stuff everywhere. Same thing when Bisping started his, same exact thing. Cejudo has had a channel for a while. He's putting up good content, certainly as good as those guys early on. And I looked, he's got like 12,000 subscribers and like I randomly stumbled on his YouTube channel. So like, I think YouTube doesn't realize that that's Henry Cejudo. Like, I think YouTube literally hasn't realized it. So anyway, go check out his channel because it's solid. And he's one of the great MMA minds. I actually don't think people give him enough credit for that. Like if you actually watch his content, like where you used to go like behind the scenes, you watch him talking to other fighters, you hear him talk about actual strategy in the, like not just like in the octagon itself, in training, in business, etc. Like he's a really sharp guy, dude. And, so anyway, so he has a YouTube channel and whoever he has helping him with YouTube filmed him during the entire Kamaru Usman fight. Right. And, it was great to see because like I said in the other video, you got to see his reaction and Ali Abdelaziz's reaction when Kamaru got knocked out, which I thought showed a lot about their character. Like these guys love that guy, man. Like those are his boys. Now, is that surprising that these guys have like really close friends? Of course not. Like that's like, they're just people, man, and they train. Like you train with guys, you go to war with these guys. You don't get like, it's a different kind of bond, man. You have your friends that you know from college, and then you have your friends that you go to war with, and it's different, I'm not saying who you would throw a fucking the only life vest to if they're in the water drowning, but like it's different, And so like that was interesting, but also you got to see like in the long version of that, you got to see Cejudo like commentating basically this whole fight. So before the fight, right? Like during the end, there's the entrance. Again, I'm going to show you that in a second, which is so sick, dude. It is so sick. And there's one, okay, I'm jumping ahead. But after Usman gets into the octagon, he kind of does his thing and all that. And that's the part that's so sick. But anyway, so then when they call him, they're calling him, he walked right up to Leon and stood right in his face, stood right in front of Leon and did like that thing. I'm pretty sure he did that. And Henry was like, he needs to be real careful of that. That was the only thing where Henry was like, he's all, oh man, dude.
But that's where he has to be careful, man. Like, you know what I mean? Why did let him come too close? I don't know, man.
And listen, like, if you don't speak that language, what he's saying is don't think that he's not dangerous. Don't let your ego get out of control and think that he can't beat you because he can. Like you need to go in there humble. And the other thing is that like Henry was saying, throughout the fight before he got knocked out, unrelated to Kamaru, he was saying that like the best guys are the guys who could check their ego at the door. Like you want to train with him, like you got to check the ego. Those are the best guys that can really, really be students of the game and check the ego. And so you connect back. He needs to be really careful with that. And then that comment later, that's for sure what he was talking about. For sure. Now, do I think that's why Kamaru lost? I don't. I think Kamaru just got caught, dude. Like he made a mistake. And the other thing too is Henry said earlier in that, like in the whole thing, for Ali Abdelaziz said before the fight, right? Ali said all he has to do is watch out for elbows and left high kick.
You gotta watch out for high left elbows and left high kick.
I said the same fucking thing, dude. I said, I mean, how many of you guys heard me talking about the fight? I said the left high kick. I was like, his cross and his left high kick are vicious. But nonetheless, and Henry said later on in the fight where he was like, Kamaru, he moves his head too far away from his hands. He's like, that's real. That's not like that. That's the only thing that scares me about him is he moves his head away from his hands. And that's exactly what got him knocked out. Exactly, But you know, nonetheless, it is what it is. Anyway, so I don't think it was his ego. I think his ego is totally unrelated. And I think that how he's handled the loss has actually indicated that it's ego is not it, to be perfectly honest. Like that, my conclusion of like, you know, was Kamaru, because how many times I've talked about the difference between ego and confidence. They are not the same thing, dude. They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing at all. As a matter of fact, if you really understand, they're opposites of each other, right? Ego is what fills a lack of confidence, right? Like an ego fills a lack of confidence. Because anyway, so it's neither here nor there. I think that Kamaru making no excuses, smiling through the loss. I saw a thing, you know, I saw an interview that he did yesterday, and he's chilling, man. He was upset that he didn't get his, not even upset. He was upset he didn't get his second check, which I imagine is a big fucking check for him, dude. I mean, if the rumors that I've heard are true about his pay structure, that's a 7-figure check that he missed out on in his win bonus. So that sucks. But you know, whatever. He still gets pay-per-view points, still has a 7-figure base salary, and he also has he's fought a lot as the champion. He's made a lot of money, dude. He's cool. That's why he's not tripping, dude. Like, think about it like this. Like, honestly, think about this, right? The belt has no owner, okay? There's no owners of the belt. Leon's right about that. The second that you enter the cage, the belt is up for grabs every time, and you either win it or you lose it. But the second you win it, I mean, do you own it really? Like, you won that one, right? There isn't like the belt. There is a belt up every time you fight for a title, right? Like, you and the challenger go in there naked. That's the thing, dude. They go in there fucking naked every time, dude. You don't go in with the belt. The second you walk in, you're fighting for another belt, right? That's why these guys have fucking 10 belts at home. The guys who have won a million, you know, defended their title a bunch of times. They get a new belt every time, you know? And so, like, and Kamaru knows he's going to get an immediate rematch. So what did he actually lose here? What did he really lose? He lost his win bonus, and he probably has a different pay structure for this next fight, which I assume Ali's probably going to negotiate pretty hard if they go fight at fucking Wembley Stadium, right? So, you know, if he has money, then it's just money. He didn't really lose anything, right? And it gives him the opportunity to build himself back and go back and try to take back what's his. So, you know, kudos to him. Now, here's what I want to show you, though, okay? And I'm also going to allude to one other thing. I wanted to talk to you guys about this. I'm going to do another video in like right after I'm finished with this one. And I want to talk about the losing streak that Trevor Whitman's people are on. And then also the AKA kind of like we had nothing but champions and now we have no champions, right? Luke Rockhold, DC, Cain Velasquez, Khabib, right? And then you go back in time, how like these camps have these runs. And then, you know, I'm trying to think of a camp that has had a run and then had another run later, right? It's like, it's really rare. Extreme Couture, you had Randy and all those guys, and then right now you have Francis and Aljamain and all them. Like, you know, it's very rare for guys to lose it and then come back. But that's primarily because, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. But I'm going to do a video about that, and I want you guys to watch it. That's all. But right now, I'm going to show you guys this entrance, this thing that Kamaru did that, oh my God, man. I'm telling you, I watched this, and then I had to take like 3 minutes because I was like I'm too like, I can't record right now or I'm not going to be able to talk. So let's watch this thing real quick. By the way, just so we're clear, for 100% sure, this video is going to get demonetized now because I'm going to play this song. That's how much I want to show this to you, is I'm going to give away any money that I would make on this video just to show this to you guys, okay? So I'm spending probably $80, $100 just to show this to you guys, okay? I'm going to spend $100 just to show you this entrance because it's that vicious, dude. So, first of all, this song, and then watch this. Ready? Let's do this. Boom.
Playtime mode is the big ring. Go.
hang on. Now, here's the thing. I want to run that back. I wanted you guys to see that once so that I can actually talk about it and then you guys have some context. So here's the thing, dude. How many of you guys are like me, right? Where you got like songs like that like where you put them on and you're like, let's go. And there's always like a part of a song where like a beat drops or like, you know, something you like smooths out. And that's like the part you look forward to, that part in the song where you're like, oh, this is the part where it's about to drop. So the first time I watched this, right? And the first time, like when I was live and Kamaru stopped at the top of the cage and he stopped before he walked into the octagon. I was looking and I was trying to figure out what he was doing. I was like, is he praying? Like, not just because I don't know, like in all honesty, I don't know what his religion is. I don't know if I don't know. I have no idea. Right. And I'm a student of people. And so I was watching that. I'm like, is he praying? Cause he stopped at the top of the octagon. And then I realized what he was doing as soon as it happens, because he was waiting for the beat to drop, dude. Like that's his fucking jam right there. And that's his part. And so he knew in his mind, he's like, I'm going to wait and I'm going to walk into the octagon right when the fucking beat drops. And fuck, man. Now watch it again, considering that. And also, again, keep in mind, okay, turn this up in your fucking speakers, okay? And then try to understand what this sounds like when you're there live. And try to imagine what it sounds like if you're fucking Kamaru Usman about to walk into the octagon. You're in the center of the entire place. And not only is a beat drop, but also everyone starts cheering at the same time. And just try to fucking imagine what that feels like, dude. It's like, that's what I'm saying. I had to take 3 minutes. I was like, let's go, son. And when we were there, dude, right when that happened, like you could just like look, I don't know, man. Like I feel like I'm a different fucking species from most people. I'm at the UFC and like shit like that. Like he walks in and I'm like, let's fucking go. And I look and everybody else is just chilling, watching. I'm like, I feel like I'm not, you not like me, dude, you not like me. Anyway, let's watch this again because this shit is so fucking sick. Boom. Listen, as a person who has heard basically every fucking fight entrance song ever, that right there, Playtime Over, it's by Yo Gotti and them. I looked it up this morning. That shit is fucking top of the list.
Let's go, my brother. Let's go, my brother. Let's get it, baby.
Perfect release on the top of the...
Let's get it, my brother. Let's go.